Good luck.
So Uber is right. They already
Mm.
started character assassinating Cassie, and they're doing it while Clark is still on cross-examination. They were asking her, like, was Cassie a hard worker and yada yada? Was she talented? And Capricorn Clark was like, well, talented to me is Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey. Cassie was not that. She was, she needed the studio to equalize her sound and her tone. And
But this was
basically,
Which is
just like,
ironic. It's ironic because I've seen yesterday, I think it was, a video where Capricorn was saying how close she and Ventura were. So it's
yeah.
funny how they changed their stories. But the assassination is going to be, and as I said to you the other day, Stacey, I do think that unfortunately, although the FBI are going to be on the case of checking everyone, protecting everyone, especially those that they've got to testify, it is still going to be in the back of the minds the reach of Diddy and what being part of this could lead to for them going forward.
Well, Capricorn, spoke of as well today about how there was an incident, when Diddy found out about Kid Cudi. They were back at Diddy's house and he was beating the crap out of Cassie. And there was a security guard there as well as Capricorn Clark. And Capricorn wanted to step in and defend her. And Diddy said, if you try to defend her, you're going to get the same thing too. And eventually the security guard told Capricorn to leave. And as she was leaving, because Diddy had dragged her out, Diddy dragged Cassie outside and, was like kicking her in the back and in the stomach and all this stuff.
I've seen that one.
As Capricorn was leaving, she called Cassie's mother and said, he's beating the shit out of your daughter. I can't call the cops. You need to do it. Because obviously that phone belonged to Diddy, so he would find out where the call came from,
It was the phone, wasn't it?
No, Capricorn Clark's phone was a phone that Diddy
Cassie
paid
had
for.
one, didn't she? Yeah, no,
So,
sorry.
So the mother, then said, I'll take care of it, and hung up. So, it just goes to show we're hearing again another incident where the security guards have been witnessing, whether it's immoral, violent, illegal activity, and they're not stepping in, they're allowing it to happen, and that's part of the RICO. And
that's across the board. Everybody has stood by to the majority and let Diddy do all of these things to all of these people because they benefited at the time, or it was they feared repercussions on themselves. But it's got this far because there's been too many people turning a blind eye at everything all across the board, all along the way.
Yeah. Capricorn quit after that incident took place, by the way. And
was that the last time?
Well, that was the first time she quit.
Yeah, and she came back, didn't she?
Yeah, and it was under the guise of she was going to be working directly with Cassie, not with Diddy. So that was how he got her to agree to it. But yeah, in between all of that, one, she got a payoff. They tried, when she went to HR and, I wrote down the name. She went to, Harv Pierre, one of the chief executives of Bad Boy, and told them about the incident. He was like, oh, that's crazy, but don't worry, everything will be okay. And then next thing you know, she gets, a 30-day notice that she's being terminated, and she lost everything. She lost her house, her car, everything. And so I'm sure Pierre will get dragged onto the stand because, you know, not only is it KK that has been brought up in regards to people directly working for Combs Enterprises or Bad Boy.
Well, he's the
Now we're
president,
hearing
isn't he?
Pierre.
He's the president of Bad Boy Records.
There was somebody else that was president, but he's that person. I forget his name right now. He's definitely being brought in. But Pierre, everyone's been suspecting that he'll be brought in because of the fact that he was there for so long, and they know that he knows stuff. You know, so
I mean, basically, everybody knows.
yeah,
Everybody knows what's been going on. Everybody's just basically, to them, it's just for example, the security guards and everybody around him. They're just doing their job, even though it's what he's doing is wrong. They're turning a blind eye to it, but to them, they're mostly thinking, well, this is just my job. I don't need, I do my job and that's it. I don't need to like get involved in anything that Diddy's doing, which is illegal. And I mean, he spent his whole life, everything's just illegal, like you say. I just think he's just crazy because he's just such a control freak that he thinks that he's like some kind of mafia boss, that he's treating people like they're beneath him, and that he's just like literally clicking his fingers and they're having to do. I mean, they're not even questioning it. No one questions anything because as far as they're concerned, they just got a job to do. And like you say, they most probably have that fear as well. Because I can imagine him just threatening everybody because that's just him. I think that's just the way he is. Even if he had the best like people around him, I think that's just him. That's his nature. And he just really thinks very highly of himself. And he thinks that he can talk to anybody how he wants to talk to anybody. He can do whatever he wants to do. And that's it. And no questions asked. And he doesn't, take any advice from no one. As far as he's concerned, that's it. It's him. And you work for him and you do what he wants you to do, regardless whether you're tired, whether you're not tired, whether you're doing more hours than you're supposed to be doing. He doesn't care. Because as far as he's concerned, it's about him.
That's because everybody else's actions around him have given him that, because he's done all these things, he's said all these things, he's been who he's been, and nobody's really challenged him. He's not going to think, well, I shouldn't do this because he's got away with it. So that is him thinking, this is me. I can do what I want and say what I want because I am, in his words, basically God, because nobody has ever challenged him. And I mean, I know there's been a lot of talk about his daughters being in court and how it's affected them and things. But I was
they haven't been in court since last week.
Yeah, I found it interesting.
They had graduation too, so we'll have to see what happens after next week if they come back.
Yeah, but his son Justin, I mean, like I was saying, a lot has been made about the girls and how they're feeling with the case and everything, and obviously they've been going to support the dad. But Misa Hilton, which is Justin's mom, she was the lady that went in with the walker with the leg brace on at the beginning with the long braids. She has only attended court because Justin's been finding it difficult, and he said to his mom, "Mommy, I need you." And so she's been attending court, not to support Diddy, but to support her son, because first and foremost, she's a mom, and regardless of anything else, she's going to be there for her child. And even a lot of this is all about his employees or girlfriends or things like that. But the ripples spread out way, way further with everybody. It's not just the people direct, it's the knock-on effect to everybody. And it's just heartbreaking that it's been allowed to get to this level and that so many lives have been hurt or destroyed by allowing this to happen.
Yep, I agree.
Please like and subscribe, everybody.
Yeah, there's some really interesting, like, just tidbits here. Diddy making millions from prison with high-end services, renting out his private jet. He's allegedly made 4.1 million since his arrest.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Do you know the name of his plane?
No.
Bad Boy.
Yeah, so
something stupid. Always something stupid.
It's a Gulfstream G550 registered to his company Love Air LLC, has been used by unwitting clients at least 126 times. So hang on a second, right? So if we take 126 and divide it by 4.1 million, we'll get the average cost of a private jet. But yeah,
so he's not broke then.
It's Air FUCK1.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the name that it goes under by those in the know.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
That they've all used many, many times going to Epstein Island as well.
Here, listen, that's another point. Yeah. Going back to the 5 days of interrogation and lie detector, we forgot about the lovely tidbit that she was told that, hey, if you fail this, I'm going to throw
you in the East River.
Right?
Yep.
Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I was trying to get that in before.
Yeah, it's
that poor woman.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mad one. Like, it's hard to sort of.
Now, on top of that, during that whole situation, he told when he had Capricorn Clark call Cassie to get Cassie to come down and meet them. You know, she was very scared over the phone and said, you know, you have to come here. He has me and he's not going to let me go. And essentially, when they were all together, you know, when they were waiting to get Cassie, he told Capricorn, if you don't get Kid Cudi to not file a police report or to not mention my name in the police report, then all of you are going to get, you know, erased, I guess you can say. Yeah.
Unalive.
All of you are going to get wiped out.
You're going to get pneumonia. It's going to be another one of those situations.
Yeah.
Also, hang on a second, right? So, can I just remind everybody of something, right? And I'm sorry, you're just going to have to
keep butting in, don't I?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely fine, Pam.
I'm sorry, Ron.
No, you're doing fine today, Pam. Don't worry. Absolutely fine. Now, I just wanted to show you all something. Do you guys remember when this happened, right? When Jesus Guerrero, right, suddenly died, who is like a hairstylist and makeup artist
for J-Lo, yes.
For J-Lo, right?
Suddenly got pneumonia.
Well, did he? Because because apparently they've not released. They've tried to play this gastrus thing, right? Gastricist. Yeah. They've said, oh, he was. Do you know what that is? I just want to show you what Google says. Gastrus is a common condition where your stomach becomes inflamed. Okay.
Yeah, gastritis.
It's a matter of changing some dietary things, and like they are trying to make us all think that had something to do with the test, but he suddenly passed away. Now, I'm not saying anything, right? But what's that about? Like, what's going? Like, I just want everyone to remember this guy and the fact.
I did that. Sorry.
On you go, Pam. What are you saying?
Sorry, Ron.
No, you're good, mate. You're good.
And I was just about to say, because they did end up turning around and saying that he had been poorly for a while.
Yep.
And then they put it down to that. But obviously, a lot of people are saying, hang on a minute, this is a bit suspicious.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And because he was so young as well. He was really, really young, wasn't he, when he passed away?
Yeah, and they said it was sudden. It was sudden.
Yeah.
And they've not given I mean, don't get me wrong. There might be something else online that says that they have given a statement and it was pneumonia or whatever. But it's a bit bizarre. It's a bit bizarre. And I'm not saying anything about anything this just jumped back into my memories today.
They're
Yeah.
all dropping like flies.
A lot
aren't
of
they?
them
They're
are
dropping
all
like
fit and
flies.
healthy normally, and then
Yeah.
lo and behold, coming down with these very similar
Yeah.
conditions out of the blue,
Now I just
And
want
can
to.
I al-
allegedly.
can I also say, so just while
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
remember, you know, like he pointed out to Capricorn that obviously he basically said that he was gonna go and kill, oh sorry, unalive Kid Cudi. And for some reason also
Yeah,
he
Pam,
didn't
can I
he
just
pointed
finish?
out,
Can I just finish my point on this before you take us
yeah,
back around, Pam?
go
So
on, sorry.
it also says he'd been working with Jenny for basically he'd been working with
Yeah.
J-Lo in Abu Dhabi just days before his passing.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I'm not saying
And-
anything, but if anybody can get any updates over the next day or two, or find anything
Yeah.
on this guy, anything at all, I would greatly appreciate it if you would just stick it in the Gen chat of the live call-in server for us. And Pam, circle us back to the Diddy case. Take it away.
Did I say wrong? What
You-
was I saying?
You were
I was just, yeah, you know, like he's got this thing about he likes guns, and he kind of pointed that out, and he told
Yep.
I was just about to call her Courtney Capricorn. I'm talking about, yeah.
yeah.
And also that he seems to have issues with a lot of people, and I think, you know, like with Kid Cudi, the whole car blowing up,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
but they made out that he had nothing to do with it. But obviously that's being like dealt with. I think they're still looking into that, aren't they? But he kind of like has basically said he wasn't anywhere near there, but apparently he was. I mean, he didn't do anything himself because he tells everybody else to do it.
Well, yeah,
So
he's
you
not
know,
going to get his own hands
yeah,
dirty. Is he?
yeah. And what's really strange is when he pointed out that he didn't like 50 Cent. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
there was-
Like she made a point of actually pointing out that he didn't like 50 Cent and that he liked guns, and you know, that's how he rolls. So it just does make you think, like, what was he planning? You know?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the fact that he's such a big star, 50 Cent is, and it seems that everybody, you know, anybody that's remotely more famous than him, he kind of wants to get rid of.
Yeah, keep in
If
mind
you know
as
what I
well.
mean.
Keep in mind as well.
but
We're talking
Yeah.
about 100 millionaire, almost billionaire. Do
Yeah,
you know how
yeah.
many stupid ideas you and me and
Yeah.
everyone else in the world has had whilst we're
Yeah.
intoxicated, right? Well,
Yeah.
but you know, we don't act on them for budgetary reasons and, you know, fear of
Yeah.
prison, right? Can you imagine like how many half-ass schemes this guy forgot he even started, right?
Yeah.
We're rolling out throughout the Didosphere. I mean, I imagine
Yeah.
that there is so many nearly Does anyone else remember that scene in is it Goodfellas where at one point they were deciding if somebody was going to get whacked, and it was like the difference between a thumbs up or a thumbs down at the dinner table, and just because the
Yeah.
guy was funny that night, he didn't get whacked, right? It gives me
Yeah.
vibes like that where the staff are all sitting on edge. There's someone in that room who doesn't know what fate could come to them. And depending
That's
on
it.
how good they are socially that evening will depend on the outcome. And
That's it. It's like they're living in fear
yeah,
all the time.
yeah,
They live in fear.
100%.
It's like they're
100%.
walking on eggshells because they don't want to upset him in any way.
Yeah.
And that's why people haven't challenged his behavior or how he spoke to people or whatever, because they all have in the back of the mind, they know exactly what he's capable of and what he'll do at literally a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I want to take a moment to acknowledge Bailey, who is asking me for a witness list. So can we
Yeah.
take a breather so I can address Bailey? And
Yeah.
I'm sure other people are curious as
Well, look,
to.
I'll let you do that, Stacey. We've got about 10 minutes left. So if you can fill
Okay.
it all into 10 minutes, that would be great. If not,
It'll take me just a few.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say,
Please like and subscribe, everyone, though, please, before the end of the stream.
Cheyenne, you are gold star on the remembering things that Ron rants about. But yeah, if Stacey, if you could go through the witness list, if you've got it, or if you're preparing it or whatever, that would be great.
Yep.
I'm just going to go and check something in the oven before I set my house on fire. I'll be back in a minute.
All right. So far we have the security guard at the Intercontinental Hotel was the first one called to stand as a witness. We have Cassie as victim number 1, Dawn Richard as witness, Kerry Morgan, another witness, Kid Cudi, which is witness / victim, Dr. Hughes, the first doctor being called to stand, David James, which is employee number 1, George Kaplan, employee number 2, Regina Ventura, witness. And by the way, Cassie is also a co-conspirator. Okay. We have Homeland Security agent Josh Croft, which is the computer forensic detective. Mila Morales, Cassie's former makeup artist. Frederick Zamore, the hotel manager from the fancy Beverly Hills Hotel. Gerard Gannon, the Homeland Security agent that raided the Florida house. Capricorn Clark, who is a witness / co-conspirator. We will hear from the LAPD and the LAFD. Well, I don't know if it's going to be today. I know last week they were ending at 3:30 for the day. And I know this week the judge laid out a schedule. I can't remember if this week they were going to stick to the 3:30 time frame or if they were going to 4. But well, if not today, then tomorrow we'll hear from them.
Okay.
So we're expected to hear from them. We also, I assume, the computer forensic agent is going to come back to discuss what was found on the hard drives that he investigated.
Yes.
We can expect that the security guards that have been brought up multiple times, which is Uncle Paulie and Ruben, will probably be brought to stand as witnesses / co-conspirators. Christina Karam and Harv Pierre as co-conspirators / witnesses. We also have 2 other victims that have not ran away or been bribed, and we have minor victim 1 and 2. So these are the people that I can definitely say we're going to hear from. And if there's more, we'll have to wait and see. I think if there's more, it'll probably be more security guards that witness things, maybe more assistants that we haven't heard from yet.
Okay.
More people within the enterprise, but definitely Christina Karam is, coincidentally, she worked for Diddy for like 15 years and only stopped working for him after the house raid. So the feds definitely got to her and told her, if you don't cooperate, you're going down with them. So
can I just say, don't you think it's strange that there are certain people that have actually said that they've got, they know a lot about the things that Diddy's been doing and they've got receipts, but they haven't been questioned or subpoenaed. And one person that I thought that would be really, that I would have thought that they would have on the stand was the OPRAH O'Day, because she's been very vocal over the years about Diddy, and she's always stated when she's been in when she's had little interviews that she, at first, at the beginning of the trial, she kind of kept a little bit stum, but now it's a case of she actually turned around and said that there's a lot of things that he did do, and that she had receipts for them. But it's like, I don't know if she's been paid off, because now she's not saying anything. It's like it's just gone quiet. Like she's not being negative. And in the past, she's been very vocal when it came to Diddy. It was
Are you talking about Gina?
Sorry?
Are you talking about Gina?
I'm talking about Aubrey O'Day that was in Danny to Kelly.
Oh, well, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Hold on.
Yeah, and because you know, like Diddy had issues with her. She was kind of like the one that you know that never really stuck to the rules, and they did.
Aubrey O'Day
Yeah.
she's got her own, credibility issues.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of jealousy between her, her being jealous of Dawn Richard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she has not been subpoenaed to testify.
No.
So the feds do not want her for their own reasons.
All right.
But this is why I'm saying it is, why don't they want her? Because if she's actually saying in interviews that she's got receipts, she knows she knows a lot of things that actually went on.
But she spoke too much about it in public. That's why they won't call her.
Maybe
they can't. They can't use anyone that's publicized information like that, or else we would have. Listen, Gene Deal has spoken a lot in public about things he witnessed. He can't get called to the stand because he's done so many interviews, and the defense can use that against them.
All right, ladies, just I'm sorry to interject. We've got about 2 minutes left, and there's a couple of things I need to cover. So I just want to say thank you all on Discord for being here today. We will be back tomorrow, and hopefully we'll pick up with you ladies then as well. But as always, thank you so much for everything you bring. So I really do appreciate all of you. I hope you have a good evening. But look, one thing you all need to be aware of throughout this Diddy case and throughout any celebrity case like this is we have our new version of false flags or individuals who want to cash in by creating false narratives, false news. We've seen it for years with real accusations, people making false claims against people. But now we're seeing millions and millions of views, hundreds and hundreds of your hours being sunk into AI generated propaganda circulating the Diddy case. And we've seen it happen this week with OPRAH and Jennifer Lawrence. We are talking about massive viral videos spreading this kind of false narrative. It is one of these things that is becoming a new legal gray zone. Very recently, in my software that I use for AI creation, they have banned the use of any celebrity name. Now, during the Royal Mess era, I used to AI generate all my thumbnails of Meghan Markle and the royal family. Now, you are not able to do that. There is a lawsuit involving Theo Von for $30 million because somebody who he does not know put his face over a video of the hitchhiker hatchet guy from Netflix who's in jail for unaliving people. But we're seeing a case now where Theo Von had nothing to do with the meme being distributed. He never created it, but it's his face. So we're going to start seeing a new legal precedent being brought in for these AI false news, AI generated channels. Now, I love AI. I'm here for it all day. But that's one I wanted you to be aware of. Now, you'll have seen things like this. These are the thumbnails. These are what they look like. Just learn what you're looking at, people, because there's still a lot of people on Facebook losing their mind over giant owls that they think are real pets. All right. So look, I just want to say thank you to all thank you to Uber, thank you to the ladies, thank you to the mods, thank you to the Shaun Attwood channel.
Thanks, Ron.
I'll see you tomorrow for more of the United Kingdom becoming a police state, moving into more content. I have no idea what else it's going to be, but tomorrow it's going to be one big show, I think, instead of two separate shows. I'll see you then. You're all awesome. Like and share. Peace. And I'll see you in the next one, guys.